Good morning, everybody. It's Ramona Rebesat here, and I have another angel guidance message for you. Today's Wednesday, April the 19th, and we have a sunny day today, although it started out a little misty and kind of foggy, so I'm glad that that's lifted, and we look like we're going to have a half-decent spring day here, and maybe even be in the double digits, which would be nice. So today I actually felt like pulling out the Magical Unicorns deck. So that's the card deck that we're going to work with. And if you're tuning in, let me know who's out there, who's watching, where you're watching from. Would love to know. Hope your morning is going well. I am off. As soon as I'm done this video, I have to go and have eye surgery again on this eye, second round. So yeah, so let's get this done. As I said, I have to boot out of here and go get that done. So today's message is finish what you've started. So this is really interesting because I know we were talking about this yesterday, how at springtime, it's all that energy of new beginnings, fresh starts, all of that. And so some of you are feeling this push-pull, like you're kind of wanting to start something, but you're wanting to hold back at the same time, and it's kind of this weird energy going on. And part of that can also be because we are back in Mercury retrograde again, and if you recall about that, that is not the time to start new things, right? It is time to finish other things, wrap it up, go back to things that you've started before. Maybe you want to refresh it, you want to renew it in some way, but not starting new things. Okay, so this says right on here, you've started something important. Now it's time to complete it. So today's homework is to think back, look at all of the projects you may have on the go, and pick the one that you're going to complete, because it's also it's a tactic that our ego uses sometimes to convince you need to start something new, to distract you from what you already know that you need to finish up, right? It's like, I really know I need to clean my house, but oh no, now I think I need to go and, organize my socks, right? Or I know I need to go for a run, but oh no, I have to, clean the whole house top to bottom first, right? So it's those distraction techniques that our ego employs to keep us from moving forward, or moving in the direction that we need to move for our life purpose. So if you've got some things hanging around that you've started, don't jump off and get going on something new. It's time to finish off the other stuff first. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully that does make sense, and hopefully you can see that there. Finish what you've started. So that's really all I have to say about that. So yeah, that's your homework. And don't get overwhelmed. Like, don't go, oh my God, I have 5, 6, 7 or more things that I've started. Now I have to go back and finish all of those. No, we don't want to overwhelm you, right? But think, like, you'll probably already have an intuitive sense of which one really does need to be completed. Hey Beth, thanks for tuning in. You'll have a sense of it already as to what it is that you need to wrap up, right? Because it's probably been lingering in the back of your mind, and you're maybe feeling a little bit guilty about it because you're like, I know I need to get this done, and I kind of just keep putting it off, right? So now as Mercury retrograde, it's the perfect time to get it done and be done. And then, because then when the Mercury retrograde is over, and the energy goes direct, then you will get that oomph of energy to go full throttle on all the new stuff, right? So you want to kind of have that plate cleared off so that you can go full throttle on the other things without having, guilt or those lingering feelings like, oh, I still need to finish that other stuff, okay? So, like I said, I hope that makes sense. If you aren't familiar with Mercury retrograde, you don't know what the heck I'm talking about. It's a period of about 3 weeks that happens a few times a year where the planet Mercury appears to slow down, stop, and spin in the other direction. Now, it doesn't actually do that. That's sort of what it appears to be doing. And Mercury is a planet of communication. So anything to do with communication, travel, technology can go kind of haywire during the Mercury retrograde period. So it's like I said, it's not time to start new things, new jobs, not time to sign contracts, buy a new home, any of that. If you can kind of hold off till Mercury goes direct, you'll be better off. So just to also keep in mind, communications can go nutty, like I said. So have verbal communication with people so that things can't be miscommunicated. If you're traveling, have, paper printouts of all of your travel documents, your things like that. It started, Beth, towards the end of, when did it start now? I'm forgetting my dates. Just before Easter. It was the Sunday, just before Easter, and it will go for about 3 weeks. So it wraps up the beginning of May. So yeah, you can even Google Mercury retrograde dates. It's actually the first thing I put on my calendar every year as I'm planning. I put all the dates for Mercury retrograde and all of the dates for the full moons and the new moons. So I know when those are happening because it matters, trust me. So that's, working with rather than against the energy really does make a difference. It really does. So I'm like, why bang your head against the wall? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's work with the universal laws and with the moon cycles and with the things that are happening already. Just makes life a heck of a lot easier. So finish what you've started today. Think about all those things you have and what is the one thing that you're gonna wrap it up. And just don't feel like you have to do it all in a day too, right? They're saying, what are the miniature steps? So if you want to complete this whole thing, break it down into smaller pieces. Okay, so if I want to complete this, what does that mean? Then that means by this date I have to have this part done, and then by this date I have to have that part done, and maybe it, requires you to work with another person, so you might need to make some phone calls. So it's just figuring out how you're going to get across that finish line, right? It's like, I always use the running analogy because I'm a runner. I was like, you don't wake up and run a marathon, you have a plan. Right? Each day of the week, how far you're running, what kind of a run you're doing. Is it an interval training? Is it a hill training? Like, what is it? Right? So you have to do the same thing for each project or goal that you're working towards. Back it up, have all the little mini milestones, so that you can finally achieve the big part of it and cross that off your to-do list. So that's what I have for today, and hope that makes sense. And I hope if this resonates with you that you'll share it out. And then I will see you back here again tomorrow for tomorrow's message. And we will talk to you then. Have a great day, everybody. Send me some good vibes for me as I go and get my left eye re-lasered. And we'll see you soon. Thanks.